Good afternoon and welcome to Entrepreneurs Live Show. I'm David Dorfman, your host, and today we're going to blow your mind. Today we've got one of the best tech guys out there with us. We've got Nick with us. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure, Nick. Nick, now tell us, you are absolutely a tech-savvy person. You like a mastermind and creating what you do. Would you mind sharing with us, first of all, who is Nick? Where do you come from? What did you do before this? Just where did this passion come from? Because doing what you're doing is something magnificent and new in South Africa.
Sure, thank you. Thanks a lot for that. Well, I'm German, as obviously you can hear in my remaining accent. I've been living in Berlin for the past years before I came to Africa. I have a background of industrial engineering and management, and started my path back then in one of those global strategy consulting firms.
Oh, wow.
Working for a couple of years, but in the corporate world, didn't really feel at home for a long time of that. And then I got into the internet via eBay in Germany, where I stayed for 2 years. eBay had that global marketplace. Had a couple of roles there. And honestly, back then I thought entering the internet, I entered a startup, but when I joined eBay, it was 10,000 people large and it wasn't exactly a startup. And hence after 2 years being driven into entrepreneurial work and into startups, I switched to another company called My Hammer, which is like a craftsman marketplace where people can easily find someone to fix your home, build a roof or so on. And I was COO back then, like Chief Operating Officer, responsible for tech and for marketing.
Wow.
And it was an interesting time because at that time the internet was still quite new. We were in the press every single day. I gave interviews and it was like a heavily hyped topic, and it was a very special time, a bit more lively on that space for the few companies that were getting big there, and we were able to build My Hammer to almost 10 million euro sales.
Wow,
back then.
That's massive.
Yeah, and getting called without doing marketing, getting called by journalists was quite a fortunate situation and very different from where we are today, which I'll allude a bit later on. And then from there, I switched to another internet company in Berlin, which we built. It was called Semigator.de, and it was the short form for Seminar Navigator. It was a booking engine for professional education. Like if anyone wants to send an employee to a course, then we were having that, getting a commission on it, and boy, it was like in the internet always. It was like a brilliant idea, and didn't work, and it was a struggle, and like we failed 15 times. We never were on budget, and in the end we hacked it out, and we figured out how to get it larger, and we were actually, like I think in the last year we grew to 12 million euro, and were lucky enough to sell it to a large German media house. But to be honest, selling a company, I think among entrepreneurs is there are different sales, and this sales was we were able to sell it, but by no means were us founders getting rich by it. Like it was we had been diluted so often, we had taken in money, and the sale was okay for the company, but it wasn't really very big, and hence I think it just made my salary as if I would have had a normal job before, but it clearly went under the experience of an entrepreneur. A check. So I mean, having been able to build and sell a company is in itself for me like a big thing. Yes. And it taught me a lot. And I think in that sense, being able to build and sell a company has different connotations wherever you are, and it doesn't really necessarily mean that you drive a Lamborghini and then don't have to work anymore.
Yeah.
And that was in 2013, and then my path went like into a bit of an unusual one. With my family, we went to Tanzania. My wife was in development aid and got a really interesting position in Tanzania to protect wildlife.
Oh, wow.
We were there for 4 years, and I did I worked on a couple of angel investments from home, like totally different life. First time in my life, I had actually the opportunity to follow my passion, kite surfing, which is also big in Cape Town.
Now that is cool.
The trade winds there gave me, like every evening I could go kite surfing for an hour, and just like other people go jogging, and to me that was just the biggest blessing ever.
Oh man, that must have been something different, because I know kite surfing is quite a dangerous sport, but also the adrenaline is amazing. So, oh wow!
Yeah, and it's actually different there. You know, it's the Indian Ocean, 28 degree. It's like really, it's a slightly different experience than here in Cape Town, and 10-degree water and howling winds.
I can imagine it because it's warmer water and the winds is more stable, everything that side.
Exactly.
Oh, awesome, man. Now, Nick,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit. As I see that you guys are with your company is called CloudRadar. Am I pronouncing it correct?
It is CloudRadar, exactly. It's
Awesome.
like cloud-based, and it's a radar function.
Okay. Now, would you mind sharing with us exactly what you do? Because I remember when I was told your business name, I'm like, now this sounds like one of those government theories where they're going to watch us and monitor us and those kind of things. And when I actually found out what you were doing, I was blown away. Would you mind sharing with our viewers and listeners actually what are you guys doing?
100%. I mean, CloudRadar is not about surveillance of anyone. CloudRadar is about, like, us tech guys. When my partner and friend Thorsten in Berlin, when we built those two companies, he was always on the tech side, being system administrator and later CTO of the companies. And if you're running an internet company, you got to be sure that the IT stack is running at all times.
Yes,
right?
yes.
If the website is down, you are down. The customers can't reach you. But beyond that, like if your internal IT is down, if your main server is down, the employees can't work, and that's actually equally detrimental to the business.
Yes.
And that while that's obvious for internet companies, it's actually true for every single company out there in the world.
Correct.
And you can make sure that you detect it early enough with something that we call monitoring, like we call it infrastructure monitoring. So CloudRadar is a product that you put on your servers and network devices, and they get an alert when anything ever goes wrong. Right? It's a very simple device. Monitoring has been around for 20 years, but it used to be quite complex and cumbersome. Yeah, like in the old times, you got to put up a server and put a software on and configure it. And honestly, most admins or like IT leads in medium-sized companies were just not able to get those tools configured, and hence they're quite exposed to those risks. Right. I think they made research that large companies like lose $100,000 an hour on downtimes, and mid-sized companies up to $10,000 per hour of downtime. So that's
a lot of money.
Significant business impact. Exactly. And then we went out there with a passion to make it really easy. Right. I mean, there are ample tools for big companies. Like corporations have up to 50 people in monitoring, like really big IT departments, and they have no problem with buying and getting those big tools installed. But now take out all these other companies, take the 10 million SMEs globally, smaller and mid-sized companies, and they don't have that, right? They have one system administrator or maybe even an IT lead, maybe 2 or 5, but that team is so busy and that they really don't have the time to get into larger projects of any single kind. Right, and that's why we devised the strategy to come up with a monitoring like Dropbox, right? Something as easy as Dropbox. You take CloudRadar, you put it on, and you have it running in 10 minutes. It's fully configured, and so everything is thought through and pre-configured. Like we baked in Thorsten's 15 years of experience into the product, and when you start it, it's already set up. And that's what makes it so special.
Yeah, and it's like you say, it's important because if a business is down, I know even with myself, if you're down just for an hour, you lose money. And end of the day, that's not what a business needs. A business needs to run. And in today's age, 24/7, you know, it's not like the older days where people only went online through the day or at night. Now it's 24/7, and it's magnificent. Now, tell me something, Nick. What I wanted to know is, do you only work with larger companies? Do you have a product for smaller guys, like the small entrepreneur? What's your focus group that you work on? Is there a specific group, or is anybody welcome to contact you?
Well, it works for a broad range of companies, but we are actually focused on smaller and medium-sized companies. As I said before, like there are big companies who have like really a huge number of system administrators who can handle complex tools. But CloudRadar, it starts at like a price of a burger, right? It starts at $1.70 per month. And everyone running one website and running 2 servers, 10 servers can actually use it. It scales automatically. And we just really built it for the everyday use of normal, small and medium companies.
That's good.
Right? It's like also super flexible. Pardon?
I say that's a market that needs it, because the small guys struggle to get a product or a service made for them. It's normally only for the bigger companies.
Exactly. Yeah, that's actually our reason why we exist. We believe, I mean, if you look at that, the whole world runs on IT this time, right?
Yes.
And that's why I love tech. There's not a single traffic light, not a single ATM that is not server driven and IT driven. And if any of that is down, the traffic light is down, which sometimes is quite useful. But if an ATM is down, it's not so nice. And in companies as well, like if there's a server failing, then half of the employees can't work, and that is just absolutely inadequate today. Right.
Wow.
In that sense, there's 500 million server worldwide out there, and every server runs either on Windows or Linux. And we believe that every server needs a monitoring out there. Like every company needs a monitoring, because it has actually 2 advantages. And I'm really not selling this here. I'm just really passionate about it. But you could say, well, if my website is down, I'll realize that early enough. Either somebody calls me or so on. Even that's quite disgraceful. But you will figure it out early enough. But what we also see is you put it on a server, and we see the hard disk getting full. And at 80%, you get an alarm and saying, hey, your hard disk is getting full. And because if it's getting full 100%, it will crash. And there's no other way to figure out that something like that will happen. So it's what we call that is preventive monitoring. You have ample time. You have a week to fix your hard disk. You can either delete stuff or get a new one. And that is really very, very helpful in this complex time that we are in right now.
That is magnificent, Nick, because, you know, when you're thinking of it, I thought, okay, wow, you're just looking at all that, making sure it stays online, but the technical stuff behind it, I mean, you make sure that the hard drives is sorted out and that everything is running smoothly. So, wow, this is beautiful. And Nick, what I would like you to do for us is share your details, because I want to introduce our listeners and our viewers to you, because I really think this is a product that can benefit the people out there, especially the small to medium enterprises. So please feel free, whatever contact details you want to share with them. If you've got a website, if you've got a cell phone number, email, anything that you want to share it with them. And furthermore, we'll put the details down here in a video to make sure that people can get all of you. I'm blown away. I'm completely blown away here.
Thanks a lot. I mean, what's also noteworthy to say is South Africa is an important market. I moved here because I see Africa coming. And if anything comes in Africa, it's South Africa. We all know that. It's a super high-tech savvy country. And we just opened a data center in Joburg. So like we are catering to the driving importance of South Africa for the African continent. And it's actually like we have a lot of requests from South Africa. Also because our product is so affordable. And we wanted to have it attainable for everyone, not only easy to use, but with countries like Brazil and South Africa with the rand and those weaknesses in the currencies, it has to be really affordable. And that's why we priced it. Somebody said it's at a burger's price per month per server. So it's actually by a factor of 5.
It's very affordable. It's very affordable, yeah.
So in that sense, there should be no reason why a company doesn't have it. So it's easy to use, it's attainable and so on. And now it just has to be done by somebody. And we realize in those Corona times right now, like you're working from home, and you even gotta have a better view on what's going on out there.
Yes. I agree with you. So yeah, Nick, go ahead, my friend, share your details so people can get a hold of you.
All right. Yeah, the company is called CloudRadar. So like the website is CloudRadar.io, and you'll find it there. We are also strongly here in South Africa. And yeah, that's the most important part, like being a SaaS-based, like software as a service. Our website is the core entry point, and there's a free trial on it for 15 days. Everybody can figure it out.
Wow.
In 10 minutes, you have it running, and then you see if it's for you. And And if it works, if you set it up, you get alerts and warnings on your cell phone, and any cell phone, and any systems that you might use as communication channels, like Slack and Telegram and SMS, and so it's actually very versatile, also for the South African environment.
That's awesome, Nick. So basically, if people want to contact you, they're going to go to cloudradar.io, and they will follow the steps, install the demo for themselves, test the system, and then decide, hey, I'm on board because this is amazing, it's helping me, it's protecting me, and they can go with it.
100%. And if there's any questions on the website, there's a help button, and I'm behind that. So like I'm based in South Africa to handle South African requests and businesses.
Awesome. That's awesome, Nick. And obviously, you service anybody from anywhere in the world?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we are very big in the US, Canada area, certainly in Europe, being originated in Germany, but then there are like two major hubs outside that, and that's Brazil and South Africa, because they're like
excellent.
the upcoming tech centrals of this world, and it's amazing the amount of requests and the interest we see from those two areas.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, Nick, thank you very much. We really appreciate that you came onto the show and that you shared with us. This is amazing. Technology is the future. We know that there's no doubt about it. And I know I'll be contacting you guys also regarding your services, because this is something that I know we can use. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you're doing to help businesses to secure themselves and to make sure they run online. And we're looking forward to finding out in the future what CloudRadar is going to produce, because I know you're going to keep on producing awesome products, and it's going to be magnificent. It's going to be beautiful. So, Nick, thank you for your time. I know you're extremely busy. May you just grow from strength to strength, and just absolutely thank you.
Thank you a lot, David. I love your enthusiasm about tech as well. I'm fully sharing into that.
Awesome, my friend. Awesome. And viewers and listeners, tune in tomorrow again for another awesome interview. And remember, the details for Nick is down here in the video. And go and see them, or go onto the website, go and look at the products, go and look what they're doing, install the demo. This is for yourself and your business. Ensure that you get it and make sure that your systems run at all times. You cannot afford to be down in today's life. If you're down, you're out. Thank you very much. I'm David Orfling, your host. See you tomorrow.